Alrighty, welcome back to Daily Day Trades YouTube, where we go over the plays that we made today and the things we hope to buy tomorrow. If you want to get these watch lists every day, please drop a thumbs up on the video and subscribe to the channel. We're up past 400 subscribers now. We had a little bit of resistance there, but we have surpassed it with flying colors all the way to 407, I believe. Going straight into what we did today, DD had a massive day yesterday, went from 185 and opened all the way up here at 307, close to 310 actually at the highest. Today we ended up buying a straddle on this right at open, right around here, because we do expect more volatility coming from the Chinese companies. We got $2.5 calls, $2.5 puts. I did spend the exact same amount on the calls as puts, which means I bought more call contracts. It came out to the same net debit for each one though. The reason we're expecting volatility from them is they were essentially not allowed to be a company for a while. They were going to get delisted from every exchange, and that was reflected very, very obviously in their price, which dropped from $18 to less than $1.50. So it looks like DD might stick around for a while. They're still going to be highly regulated. I think people are very, very hesitant to even make a trade on this right now. But we're fearless here at Daily Day Trades. I went with the straddle because I think one way or another it's either going to track back down to where it was, or they'll get the green light and they'll be able to go ahead and continue what they were doing and be a successful company. The only issue being that the contracts I bought only have a few days on them. I think if you wanted a longer term play, a straddle on longer term would be just as good. I just think that this week after this big jump, it's either going to fill back down or go back up to where it opened the other day. If you don't know how straddles work or when to use them or why to use them, there is a link in the description that has all of this stuff on dailydaytrades.money. When to use a straddle, how to do it, examples of when I've done them and how that worked out. Also, when you're here, there is the trade alerts. There's another link below for this. It is a risk-free play. You hear that? So it's basically like, selling your contracts, get in for free. You get a 7-day free trial. It's only $19 after that. If you hate it during the free trial, like I said, risk-free, you do not have to continue the free trial. You can cancel it, not pay anything. Everything is fine. We won't judge you. That's okay. I'll judge you, but no one else will. Moving on, we talked about Solar a decent amount yesterday. Solar was supposed to be doing something. They did not do anything. They're still trading around the same range. I don't think anyone is taking a full sprint to jump into any solar companies right now. They have not been very reliable, especially when you look at other energy situations like oil. And oil has been doing phenomenally for the past almost a year. So if you're looking at getting into energy, I don't think solar is at the top of that list, even with the new changes that the administration has made to imports and tariffs and things like that. I personally don't have anything whatsoever in solar right now. I would like to make some plays on the political side of things, just because it's pretty easy when they start passing bills and things to make companies more successful. In this case, I don't think it was enough to really move these companies up anymore. You can see here, this is a solar ETF, and they haven't really moved that much. We did make one new play going into tomorrow, and that is BABA. It is another Chinese kind of play on them reopening and just a little bit of momentum that they're getting there. They've had a rough go at it with the government having so many regulations and stepping in on so many companies that BABA is way down here. They were up here 200 or more % from where they are now. That's all government regulations and just China fear. I just got this today based on the momentum that it had going into close. I bought it about here. I think we got a little bit of breathing room before open, so if it does gap down a little bit, it shouldn't hurt us that bad. I think it's only up like 10%, but hey, that's enough for me to have a little bit of peace of mind. That's going to be a one-night play. So I got the calls. They're for June 10th, so this Friday, and the strike is 108. I believe I paid 104 for those. So that's definitely something to look for tomorrow. I'll probably sell them right at open regardless. If it does look like it's going to run a little bit in the morning, then I'll hold them for a second, but I have no plans on holding those to expiration or any longer than I have to. Something else to watch tomorrow, AAWW. This is like a freight airline. They've been in the same range for a very long time, just like a lot of other things. And they had a huge decline here over a couple days, and now they've been stuck in this little pattern for a long time. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 hits on this basically $73 mark. I want to keep an eye on this because if it does break through that $73 again, I think this is a very reasonable level to get to over a couple weeks. This would be a pretty low risk swing trade because you just use this as your stop. If it gets a little bit below that, you don't want to keep holding it if it goes back into this kind of back and forth pattern. But if it does break out and continue up, then you've got a pretty good margin for gains there. It's a pretty good company. In 2017, they were making $2 billion, profit margin 10%, and now 2021, the latest fiscal year, they had $4 billion of revenue at a slightly higher profit margin. So they're growing. The technicals look good as long as it can get past this level. So this will definitely be something that I'm looking out for in the next few days. There's also good sentiment with it with pretty much everyone. The analyst price target for it is about $95 on average. So that would be way up here, almost at all-time highs. So people do like this stock. I think I would like to see it move past this level before hopping into it, but that is a swing to watch tomorrow. The bird of the day, most important part of the day, the Andean Condor. This bird is massive. It's the national bird of Chile. And let me tell you, this thing's pretty sick. I even sent along with it some fun facts, 8 unusual facts about the Andean Condor, one of which is that they only lay one egg every like 2 years. And that little chicklet takes like 6 or 7 years to grow up and actually be independent at like an adolescent age. And they don't even have nests. Okay, they just leave the egg on a side of a cliff, and then the mom and the dad have to come back to raise the bird because it's such a massive ass bird that I don't even know. They got a lot of stuff to do to get this bird to this kind of size. So shout out to the Andean Condor. He's pretty badass Economics. This is something that I really like to pay attention to. That is not necessarily always headline news, but it is the trade deficit. How much more are we taking in than we are putting out? So here is when Biden got elected. You can agree or disagree that this is politics that made this happen. It could have been coronavirus or a bunch of different other factors, but just for reference, this is when Biden was elected, and then afterwards we see a major spike in our trade deficit. A lot of that is energy. We import a lot of oil. We need a lot of oil. We consume the most oil by a landslide than any other country, and we don't produce enough of it anymore. This is not good. People want to see the trade deficit go straight back down. That will probably not happen anytime soon, especially after the last couple of years, because it's ran up pretty high, almost doubling. This is a 5-year chart. As you can see, it was pretty stable until whatever catalyst you want to say made that happen. I think this is important to economists and important to the recession argument that's going on. That are we contracting in GDP? Are we not? Is the stock market going to correct itself, or is it just going to be tech? I think a lot of it comes down to how much is the United States of America producing versus the rest of the world, and this chart basically shows that. So yeah, be sure to check out dailydaytrades.money. Link is in the description for that. There's also a link to all of the trade alerts where you can get them live. Like I said, it is risk-free, absolutely free to try, cancel anytime, doesn't really matter. That is about all I have for today, and have a good one.